words. She's versatile, she's dedicated, and she's very humble. And today, particularly, Carol is fascinated by the apocalypse, whether it be a zombie one, or Mad Max, or Tank Girl one. There is, however, an overlap between fiction and reality. Natural disasters, such as hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, wildfires, can all be forms of an apocalypse, if you are caught in them, of course. So in this speech, Ham Radio, Saviour of the Apocalypse, Carolyn will be talking about keeping lines of communication open in a state of emergency. So please help me welcome.
Kids, if Dad and I aren't home and something happens, you take one of the mattresses from upstairs, you drag it to the basement, you put it under the stairs, and you hide there. So my dad bought this transistor radio that takes batteries so he could know what was happening during the Cuban Missile crisis in October 1962. I was 5 years old. I have no memory of any of this, none. But my brother, he was 11, he's 6 years older than me. He remembers Mom telling him that. I'm glad I don't have these memories, because I've grown up in an area that's been basically peaceful. But back then, people thought that the States and Russia were about to launch a worldwide nuclear war, which probably means none of us would be here now if that had happened. So my dad bought this. It's a shortwave radio. It can hear ham radio. Isn't reliant, like if the internet goes down, then you no longer have things like cell phone networks, towers might go. So if you're reliant on cell phones, you don't have that capability in a natural disaster. Ham radio is what people turn to in emergency situations, like Hurricane Katrina, when certain things go down. It's the ham radio people that keep the world in touch. And it goes from you, and you broadcast it out to the world. And somebody on the other side can answer you. And there are different ranges for ham radio. So it turns out that my brother, he learned about ham radios. Our dad taught him how to get ham radio frequencies that were being broadcast, how to receive them on here. And he went on to looking at a book called ARRL, the American Radio Relay League Annual Handbook from the 1940s. And that is how my brother learned how to make antennas. Because you can extend your range of a ham radio or your receiving capabilities by putting up a longer, taller antenna. And what you try for is you try for a mountain top if you've got it. And at the cottage it was the highest tree. on our little island, and of course it kept getting hit by lightning. But he grounded it, so that was fine. But it turns out my dad's dad, my granddad in Edmonton, he was a ham operator. So my brother, he learned how to do it, and he told me that there are basically, there's 3 levels of licenses you can get for ham radio. There's the technical entry level, which costs about $14 American. Then there's the general, which my brother has, and then you can be a specialist. And so ham radio has 2 parts. Part of it's sort of a text ability, where you use Morse code, dots and dashes. We all know, like SOS, a bunch of dots and dashes. And even if you can't communicate through voice, you can get through by Morse code, because it's easier to go through. And you can actually learn how to be a ham radio operator by taking a course offered by the Victoria Group. And they have volunteer instructors who teach people how to do it, and then there's an exam. And it's kind of interesting. And you can have a mobile ham radio which can go in your car, which my brother has. And then you can also get portable ones, which are just you hold, and then you can get a base. So in zombie apocalypse movies, because y'all knew that's where this was going, like The Walking Dead, they don't hold cell phones. For one thing, my iPhone 6 doesn't even last half a day, so you'd always be looking to recharge it. But what they have in these zombie movies is they have the people at the base, and they're always, the radio's always broken in these, you know, or they're out of reach and they can't get anybody. But the other thing they have is the little handheld ones to communicate. And they go basically line of sight, which is why you want to be up tall with your antennas. But you can also have a repeater. So say Wendy has a repeater, so it would go to Wendy, then it could go beyond Wendy somewhere. So I just wanted you to know that if you really want to be safe in an emergency, that learning how to be a ham operator and getting a ham radio is the safe thing to do.
Well, thank you, Carolyn, for that informative speech. And now we have the timer's report. 2 minutes for notes. That's right.